Here's our problem: is that you and I are experts on
Literally nothing.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah. It is a problem.
So I think that's the biggest issue that we're going to have with doing a legit podcast is that we don't know what we're doing.
No. We have no idea what we're doing.
Not at all. So I read an article on NPR. I read a couple articles that all say different things, but we'll roll with this one. It says 4 million people quit their jobs according to the Labor Department, and that was posted in April. When did you officially leave your
sometime in
deal?
June?
So you're right after that.
Yeah, I put my notice in. So I put my notice in, and then it was kind of open-ended as to how long I was going to be there. And then I think officially I ended in June to go start this whole venture. Yeah, I mean, this thing interests me because I don't know what it really is, but when I heard it, I was like, I feel like I'm a part of this thing, but I don't really know what it is.
There's more articles online that I saw just on the first page of Google that said how to be one of these people.
Really?
Yeah, then there is actually what it is. But I looked at LinkedIn, an editor, Samantha Robertson is her name, put a survey out there. She said a recent survey says that 41% of people are thinking about quitting. So the actual term, the Great Resignation, was coined by a professor from Texas A&M, Anthony Klotz. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
So
but
when
he coined that term.
When?
I don't know. Recently, within the last
Because
year.
I think I've started to look at some of this stuff, and then we were at the baby thing, so I only looked at like
a little bit.
Maybe
I'm with you. I was
10 seconds.
Yeah.
I think it said like 3 weeks ago or something, or 4 weeks ago.
That he coined the term.
I think so.
It's probably at least a month. I would assume it'd be at least a month.
Because these are from like April numbers?
Because the NPR is from April. And then CNBC, I think, was closer to June. And they said that 95% of workers are considering changing their jobs.
So they say 95, and then somebody from LinkedIn said 41.
Yeah. So that's what I was mentioning to you earlier before we sat down. That
LinkedIn's, I'm honestly like, at this point, just in terms of like an active network, I feel like LinkedIn is probably going to be maybe more accurate. I don't know if they've got data scientists or anything like that. I'm sure they do. It's a Microsoft company.
Are they owned by Microsoft? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, that Samantha Robertson was an editor that wrote this at LinkedIn News. So I didn't think that I didn't know that they had a news deal, but now it makes sense that they
now
do.
You do, you fucking idiot.
Now I do. And then this was kind of interesting. So Forbes, I also pulled up an article from Forbes that said that the two largest turnovers, I guess the fields are healthcare and the high tech industry.
Really?
Yeah, which I assumed that it would be like retail workers.
That's what you assume?
Like the service industry, retail workers, things like that.
Why?
I would assume. I think because most of those are the lower paying jobs, and I think that's part of the reason that the people would be leaving those jobs. I would assume that, healthcare and high tech, the people in those industries would be getting paid well enough to not want to leave.
Yeah. Like, and I guess, I don't know, maybe like maybe it's just the term, right? Because I wouldn't think that it would be like low paying jobs, because I guess maybe people just don't say like you resigned from a low paying job. Like I've like kind of quit jobs, but like you kind of resign from a career almost. Yeah. That's why I think
when you know that you're going to be going back into that field. Like, so these people are going to school in extensive training to do the things that they do.
Because like for for this stuff, it's almost like I don't know. So this is like what I think is happening, and I fucking have no idea if this is.
I'm very curious to hear what you're gonna say.
I have no idea if this is like actually happening, but I think a lot of people are not. They're not happy with where they're at. They're not happy with what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then I think with COVID, it was if you work in the type of job where you end up working from home or doing anything like that, suddenly you have all this time. And then it depends. Like if you have good bosses, if you got good managers, all that kind of stuff, you're probably not going to have like a mass exodus from your company.
Yeah.
Because if you have good managers that actually care about what's going on, like it doesn't matter if you're working from home or you're working, in the office. They're gonna be plugged into what's going on. But a lot, dude, I bet there's a lot of shitty managers and like shitty executives out there that once this transition from home happened, who knows? Maybe they just don't know how to manage remotely. Maybe they're also just chilling. So there's a ton of people that are probably just out there like, dude, I haven't heard from my boss all week. I don't think they even know what I'm doing. And if you work for a company that you're getting paid a salary, you could just be sitting there making like thousands and thousands of bucks a week and legit not doing anything, which is cool, I guess. But at a certain point, if you've got like a sense of like self-worth, it doesn't feel good
To just be sitting around not doing anything.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's like mind blowing. Like it doesn't make sense.
I think like that's part of the human condition is that you have to have some kind of purpose. And if you don't, and you're not working towards something and you're just, typing your life away, it's going to turn into an issue really quick.
Yeah.
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 I mean, how was it for you? You worked at home for almost a year, right?
Since last September.
Okay. So coming up 8 months or something.
Yeah. I mean, it was good.
Yeah.
I am saying this from experience, and it's like and it wasn't the whole time. So like September to December, pretty much, I was still working the same. So I went into the office all through COVID. Like during COVID, I was in the office. Like I was at trade shows and business road trips like while all of this was like unfolding, and then I was in North Carolina at a trade show like March 15th. Like I got home that night because we were at this trade show. 80% of the people didn't show up, and
because of COVID.
Because of COVID, it was like still breaking, and then 15th or the 16th, whichever night Trump announced that he was considering shutting down the airlines, I was like, "Fuck this, dude! I'm getting on a flight tonight to go back home," because I didn't want to. Plus, with all this stuff, like when this was happening, people were treating it like the zombie apocalypse, basically. And so when I was up in
it was nuts. I think people forget about how crazy it was right at the beginning,
dude. Yeah, and my thought was, dude, if I'm in North Carolina and I need to get back to Florida, like what am I
gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
It was kind of like we both lived through Irma. It was kind of like that, where people were like, we're not gonna be able to go anywhere. Let's raid the grocery stores. Let's get stock up on everything that we can, because we don't know when we're gonna come out of our houses again.
Yeah, and I didn't know if
it wasn't like that, but it felt like it was gonna be like that.
Yeah, and I didn't know if there was gonna be like gas shortages. I didn't know if they were gonna put like roadblocks up on the major highways or something like that.
Which is a very real concern at the time.
Yeah, because you just you don't know. And as stupid as this sounds, like I've only watched one season of The Walking Dead, but when you're in these kind of situations where it's like a panic, situation, I wasn't really panicked, but
yeah, you were.
I was fucking scared. I was worried that I wasn't
I know you were.
And like, I don't know, you just go to like those, like in my head I go to like Walking Dead, like fucking roads are shut down. There's
Yeah.
gonna be a bunch of cars on the roads that ran out of gas. That you like, if I'm trying to get from North Carolina to Florida, like I'm sure there's a ton of back roads, but at a certain point, like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know. So I just
Nobody knew.
Yeah, I had to get back for that. I don't know what were we even talking about.
I think we went off the rails for a minute.
All right,
We were talking
let's
about
start,
you.
Let's start this thing.
All right.
Let's start.
I thought we did start.
All right, thank you everybody for joining. This is the first episode. I'm Chris,
I'm Matt.
and yeah, so we're just talking about the Great Resignation,
The Great Resignation.
which I don't actually know what this really is, but
Yeah, we did it. I probably over about an hour and a half ago is when I first really learned what this was.
I don't know. It seems like so. Yeah, I mean, this seems like something interesting in terms of.
Yeah, it does.
All right, let's start this one more time.
All right.
Hey.
Dude, it's gonna be awkward. Like until we get the feel for it, it's gonna feel weird.
Yeah. Hey. Give it up.
You know what? I say we don't even talk about that. I say we just talk about turning pro.
Okay.
Let's just skip that altogether.
Yeah.
We'll just do a book review. Welcome to Chris and Matt's book club. Here's our first book of the week.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I think we're rolling.
Turning pro.
Solid.
It's this neat book that Chris and I have been reading or have read a couple times now.
All right. Let's just fucking do it. We're just talking, and then this fucking thing just ended. Goddamn. So. I'm building these like websites and shit.
Yeah.
And you sign up for, so like you've got WordPress, and then you can like build this stuff. It's it's called Elementor.
Yeah.
So it's like you have all these templates and shit.
All right, man. I'm ready. I got it together now. All right. I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
All right. So like what about this actually stands out to you? Like what's the mindset of the book? Like what are some of the things that you actually take out of it? And then what do you think about like resistance and like how do you see all of that stuff?
So yeah, that's kind of the premise of the whole thing is beating resistance. Or is what I took away from it is that the goal is to beat resistance. And until you do that, you will not become the person that you're supposed to be or accomplish your goal fully. So because until you turn pro, you're just chasing those, they call in the book like your shadow career, your shadow dreams.
Yeah. Well, so like how do you see like resistance itself? So like how do you picture it? How does resistance come to you? Like, does it have like a form?
So I was thinking about that on the drive over here because I feel like probably almost every person probably beats resistance in some type of way every day. And I think that for most people, probably most Americans, is that it's probably just laziness down to the core of it.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is too, I think, is a lot of people are ungrateful. Or they don't have gratitude for the things that they do have in their life.
What do you mean?
So I think the biggest thing is enjoying the process and enjoying where you are, because until you do that, like what are you doing? And if you, I guess, I don't fucking know. I lost it.
So, I mean, like the way that I see some of this stuff, like, so with this book, it's like the second version. So this is what I've been trying to find throughout all this stuff. So like the past, I don't know, 3 months, that I've been fucking pestering you about, like the self-help book
Yeah.
and all this shit.
Which one? The Four Agreements that I still have not read.
The Four
all the way.
Agreements.
I read the beginning.
The War of Art, Turning Pro. I mean, all this stuff is like, I'm trying to find like a universal thread that goes through all this stuff, right? So like something that you can figure out, and people probably have all different names for it. Like even in Turning Pro, he says that he was talking to some rabbi, and the guy said like, "Oh, it's called the
whatever." It's like a common thing amongst whatever that religion was.
Yeah, so they call it in that it's like you have your two selves. Your one that's like your better self, and then the one that goes against and undermines and self-sabotages. Like they're two versions of yourself. Mm-hmm. With what I like about this and like Turning Pro, War of Art, and then even like the Four Agreements, is it kind of makes it where it's outside yourself more than anything. So part of like the artist journey and all this stuff, and I'm going through it with the music and stuff, like imposter syndrome is it's real,
huge.
Dude.
So in that, I actually took that. I wrote that down here. Is like imposter syndrome because he doesn't talk about that, but he says guilty of ambition.
Yeah.
So he's like, I kind of took away that imposter syndrome from that.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, and you can feel bad about being ambitious, and like, who am I to think that I should be ambitious? But the thing that I like about Turning Pro, all these things, is that it does make it an entity outside yourself.
Yeah.
So like part of the process of doing like really what you want to do in life, it can be anything. Like, so he talks about business, talks about art, all that stuff. It's like whatever you're putting your mind to, you're gonna have the resistance. You're gonna have something like I'll have voices in my head all the time that are just like, you're not gonna make it. You're not good enough at this. Like your voice sucks. You just did 65 takes, like 65 vocal takes where I hit record.
Did you do that many takes?
Yeah, on the song on Tending that we wrote. Yeah. More than that, honestly, because when I finished on the final takes, it was at like 28 takes, and then the second half was like, honestly, it was well over 100, because this is the first song I've wrote in a long time that I've recorded. This is the first song I've ever recorded. Everything start to finish.
And you're gonna master it and mix the whole 9 yards, right?
Yeah. So like going through this whole process, it was really cool to listen to Turning Pro. Like this is the first time I really listened to this one, and hearing all the things that he talks about like during the process and the self-doubts and like, you can't do it. I play bass horribly.
Yep.
I can't play drums. Thank God for MIDI drums that you can literally go in and like move the notes around and quantize them and all that stuff. Like,
you know what I find with like the not a common thing, but something that I see in every self-help book is like, I get done with it, I'm like, yeah, I knew all that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like I get it, but it wasn't a thought until I read it. But it's like, it's almost like it's common sense. But these authors and gurus or wherever, rabbis, have a way of putting things that like bring that out of you that you now understand that.
Well, you can it's like a reminder more than anything. It's a lot of this stuff is you already know it, and it's a lot of it makes sense.
It's like deep down where your subconscious.
Yeah, I mean that's probably why it's helpful for us at this point. And then when you talk to somebody that's like, I don't know, in their 50s and they've like got a lot of this stuff figured out, they're like, all right, that's nice, good book, like fine, but
it's okay.
Yeah, you just got to get out of your own fucking way, and then it's like, but how do I get out of my own way?
Yeah, a lot of people are in their own way.
Dude, I'm in my own way all the fucking time.
I'm stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Did you read the part where he talks about like failure and being relieved to fail? So then you don't have to live in the present. Mm-hmm. You can live in the past and you can live in the future, but you don't have to worry about living in the present.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Dude, so there is, you like The Alchemist, that book.
Yep.
I can't read it. I don't know what it is, but
Did you read any of it?
I read the preface, and
That's
honestly,
as far as you got.
that's as far as I got. I kept, I read like 2 chapters. I've tried to read it like 3 times, and every time I'm like,
I will.
fucking head's gonna
I
pop.
will read the 4 Agreements once you finish The Alchemist, and then we can talk.
But you're never gonna read the 4 Agreements.
I will. It's on my bedstand. It just needs to open itself and just go into my mind.
Well,
It's going to be a little bit.
you have a baby, so I can't really say
That's
anything.
true, but yeah, if I read like it's not a very long book. What is it? 100 pages max.
Something.
I mean, if I just would read 10 pages a night,
You lazy fuck.
I am. That's what I'm saying, man. Resistance. I got to beat that.
Yeah.
But that's my biggest resistance is like in the mornings when I wake up. You know how many times I set my alarm? How many alarms I set? And I'm like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to go hit the gym.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm going to do this that night. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to wake up, and I wake up and I'm like, oh man, this bed's feeling pretty comfy. And I have like been out of my routine now for like a year. And I feel like the farther you get away from it, the harder it is to get back into it. And the more resistance is like pushing against you.
Dude, yeah, that's why, like, so part of the great resignation and all that stuff that we were talking about with this is like, how do I set up my days, my life to accommodate this,
Yeah.
like the ability to do art.
Yeah.
Like,
because that's pretty much what you're doing now.
yeah,
You don't have the 9 to 5 corporate America anymore. You are doing the
yeah,
start when you need to and end when you need to, and
yeah.
finish everything that you can in between those times.
Yeah, but still, like, I think I'm even more regimented now in terms of like when I start doing music stuff.
Yeah.
Like more than I was regimented even with sales when I was in customer success.
This is because it's your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a make or break deal.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
going to put everything you can into it.
Well, and it's like the mindset shift that's happened too with it is because it's mine, and because not like, oh, give yourself no option, like where you just leave your job and you haven't had anything figured out.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do that. Like, I figured out, okay, I spent the time to learn all the mixing, the mastering, all the audio engineering stuff. And then I was like, all right, let me pull this back. Let me see what else I can find. I started looking at like, okay, could I do mixing?
Yeah.
Could I mix for people? Okay. How much would I have to charge? To do that to have, like,
you
a
didn't just
sustained
jump
way?
into it and say like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go quit my job tomorrow and pray for the best. And hopefully it's like you had a plan and you studied and you found out,
Yeah.
you bought the equipment, you took the classes, you
Yeah.
studied what you had to do.
Yeah, and that was helpful to make that switch. But like in terms of the day-to-day mindset, part of this too is that when you work for somebody, like especially too when you're working at home, like you feel this obligation that you're on the clock that whole time. So I was doing sales for the West Coast of the U.S., so really my day didn't have to start until noon.
Yeah.
But I still felt an obligation, like that I needed to be doing stuff during the morning. So spending that time on like music and learning how to do that stuff, that was a hard thing for me to get over, because part of resistance, part of this imposter syndrome is being like, who are you to do this stuff during like
Those hours.
These hours.
Yeah.
This is not your time. This time belongs to somebody else.
But
And
you
it's like,
technically didn't have to start till noon anyway because your customers weren't awake till then.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was bullshit that I put in my own way. Really,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was nonsense. So once I could like break out of that, getting into, I think the habits was the biggest thing. That's why I kept telling you, dude, take 30 days and just build shit.
Yeah.
Like, you started it,
I did.
and then you fucking gave up.
I did, man. I did the one project, and then I had resistance beat me, man. I had the one project, I had the plans for the second one, and where did it go? It never happened.
Yeah, but you can still do it. So like, I'm telling you, dude, the 30-day challenge thing that I did in February.
Yep.
Like, it sounds cheesy. Dude, that shit changed my life.
I feel like that launched you into where you are now. Like, not like you didn't just kind of stroll in it. Like, it launched you directly. Yeah.
Because
so you did, so everybody knows, you did 30. You wrote one song every day for 30 days. Some were horrible.
some were really bad.
I weren't even songs, but most of them were pretty good.
One of them I had 10 minutes to make, so I was going to, I don't know, I think we were going to hang out with Thrift or something, and I had legit 10 minutes. Rebecca was like, "Hey, we're leaving in 10 minutes," and I knew that
the modulator on.
I knew that like we were gonna be drinking. Like, I was probably gonna be out until
toasted.
After midnight for sure. So I was like, "Nope, fuck it, I gotta do it." So I did it, and it was awful.
Yeah,
I even tried like modular synthesizers. Yeah. That was bad. But no, dude,
at least you made something though for 30 days straight, regardless of how bad it was. Because I feel like
some of them were good too.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Yeah, there was a majority of them were good.
A lot of them were good.
Most of them were good. There were a couple ones though.
Every single one was really good.
Most of them were okay. But I think it helped you too realize like some of your stuff's gonna probably be garbage, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna help you propel on to the next thing. And then you know that, hey, I'm not gonna do that again. And that's how you learn.
Oh, I learned a ton of shit doing that. So I don't know. I think it's part of. I don't even know what my point is with any of this, but the habit thing. All right, so the habit thing.
Well, here's if I can interject real quick. I think that the whole point of what you're saying is that you beat resistance for 30 days.
Yeah.
And I don't know what there's a time allotment that says it takes. Do you know how many days to make a habit? What is that? Do you remember?
I think it's 30 days.
Is it? There you go.
Oh,
it takes 30 days to beat resistance. Do something consistently for 30 days, and you will beat resistance.
But it's only temporary. So, dude, I spent those 30 days writing that song, like those songs every day, and then,
you know what you should do?
What?
You should make the Home Depot song the intro to your podcast.
It's not a bad idea.
I don't know.
Yo, I think we, because I'm mixing Tending right now, and you wrote the initial riff for that.
I think, I remember jamming it a little bit.
You wrote that.
I feel like we came together and just wrote a bunch of random shit, and then we never, I don't know, there's a lot of riffs that we wrote.
Well, it's one of the riffs that we wrote. I think we should make that the podcast music.
I'm down. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But the big thing is like the habit stuff. Like you can do that.
I think anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it. Even a fucking idiot like you can do it.
Even an idiot like me could probably do that. 30 days. Yeah. That's why I wanted to do something with like carpentry for 30 days. You gave me the idea.
Yeah.
I did 2 whole days. Yeah.
Like, why did you stop?
Because it was finished.
Why didn't you tear it down and start it
The
again?
one project, my dad was down. He helped me, put up the wainscoting or board and batten, whatever you call it. And we did that. And I had an idea to do that next accent one. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to teach myself how to do this stuff. And I don't know. Life got in the way.
It's hard with a full-time job, and you don't work from home.
Yeah.
You're
in the office.
You're in the office. You got a baby.
Yep.
So
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, man. But it's not. Here's the thing. It's like I feel like you're trying to make an excuse for me, and that's what people.
Well,
that's
how do you?
That's what
how
people.
How are you gonna deal with that? Because I'm gonna have that shit real soon. My baby's coming in.
Yeah, man.
3 months. So.
Is it 3 months?
Yeah.
Oh wow. You excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
You should be.
She's gonna be a fucking terror because apparently when I was like until I was 5 years old, I was an animal.
Yeah. And she's going to be 10 pounds probably coming out. So
probably 12. So just so you guys know, when I was born right around 10 pounds. So my dad.
Yeah. Your brother too, right?
No, I don't know.
Or your dad was 10 pounds?
No, he was 10 pounds. So what my dad keeps saying to Rebecca is that, Chris is going to be 12 pounds or, Lana's going to be 12 pounds. Chris was 12 pounds when he came out. Chris was 14 pounds. So it keeps getting, the closer she gets, it keeps, so he's 13. Up to 20 now.
Oh boy.
Chris was 20 pounds when he came out. She's like,
oh boy.
you gotta stop.
Yeah, it'll be exciting though. You should be excited.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like, I feel like people want to make excuses because it's the easy way to get out of things. Like when he talks about failure, people being comfortable with it or makes you happier to fail because you're like, all right, now I don't have to worry about this project. Now I can go on to the next thing and start it all over again, something fresh and the new, and then I'm just going to fail at that too. But like you listen to Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
Like he's like his book, Extreme Ownership. I don't claim to have read it all. I've read a little bit of it, but I think that's the biggest thing, man. It's just like make everything your problem.
Yeah.
Like, okay, why didn't I do this today? Why didn't I accomplish these goals today? Or why is, whatever it is there an issue in your family, there an issue with your friends, issue at work, like make it your problem. And I think that's really the only way to like beat resistance or the resistance that you don't even know is there.
Yeah. Well, because it comes so sneaky. Like it comes in all different ways. Dude, everything from like the War of Art where it's talking about resistance and it's like the way that it shows up.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like it shows up in a lot of crazy ways. Like I was listening to the guy from On It, the Aubrey. Have you ever heard of Aubrey Marcus?
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram. He's got some wild stuff, man.
Yeah, so he talks about it. Like he talked about it even as like, yeah, I realized I was eating shitty foods like the night before I would have to do something important, and like shitty foods will like mess me up where my stomach is off, and then when your stomach's off, you're not really thinking. So if you don't do this stuff, or maybe if you just don't have as much like resistance isn't a thing for you, right? Like there are some people that you talk to that's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you complaining about?
Yeah.
Like,
there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. You just go and do. Like they might not get it, but like for somebody that deals with that shit all the time, like, oh, as soon as I heard this, like, oh yeah, of course. Like,
yeah,
you could totally just eat something that like if I don't want to go to jujitsu, I'll like 5 o'clock. I got class at 7, 5 o'clock. Eat something. Like I know I'm gonna feel like shit, and sometimes I'll still force myself to go, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah, dude, it's a real. I have that same issue, and I think like once you hit a certain age and you kind of start to know your body a little bit better, then you're like, all right, I know that if I eat 3 McDonald's cheeseburgers before I go to bed tonight, chances are I'm probably not going to go to the gym in the morning or ride your bike or whatever it is that you could do in the morning that you need to wake up for.
Yeah.
Or even within the next 24 hours, that probably is going to sit in your stomach and it's going to make you feel like garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah. Yeah. It comes in some fucking wild ways.
Yeah.
Leave your favorite resistance type in the comments below. So part of that too, extreme ownership, is he's got a chapter in here that's like people, I call it like giving your power away, or you want other people to do things for you.
Yeah.
So like if I follow like a guru or like I just want to be told what to think or like what to do, like tell me what to do next. Like,
yeah.
If you give away that self constitution, I don't know what you would call it, but like your ability to make those decisions.
Yeah, your autonomy to do those things yourself. You're giving it away.
You're not gonna do art. Like you're not gonna release your art. You're not gonna make it.
Why do you say that?
Because, and this isn't just with art, but like if you wait for somebody to tell you what to do or how to do things or where to go, there's a good chance that you're giving away your connection to like God, to the muses that he talks about, to the universal pulse that you can plug into to see what's going on. Okay, this frequency, right? This is where all the thoughts are happening. Like, how do I plug into that?
Yeah.
You really can't plug into it by like, oh, I'm going to wait for this person to like approve me or, anything like that. I guess I don't, that's not really the main point, but you just you give away like your ability to see the world how you see it.
Yeah, and I think part of accomplishing something is also, I mean, taking the chance and doing it and not just being told, hey, here's how to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Like this is all a bunch of fucking YouTube videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lighting.
But nobody told you how to buy these bright lights that are in here and the camera and the microphones and everything to, you know, to set all this up. You're learning right now.
Yeah.
This could turn out awful.
This, honestly, this is probably going to be like a slightly blurry video.
It's okay though, because it's the beginning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yo, remember before they got good at cameras? That was a better show. They fucking sold out, dude. Yeah, once we have 14 listeners, I think we're shutting this show down.
20 listeners. Is that your goal, 20 listeners?
Yeah.
You can look back on this in a year from now and be proud of your 10 that you'll actually have.
Yeah, I did 10 podcasts. I ended up just talking to myself, and it was the same episode over and over again. We just talked about Stephen Pressfield's work over and over.
He has 2 books, right?
I think he's got a bunch. He's got War of Art
in this series, though.
Yeah,
like the Turning Pro and then War of Art.
There might be one more, just called I think it's called Do the Work, something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. The concept is very interesting.
But this kind of stuff for me is like a way to figure out the way the world works, because I don't understand, honestly, like I don't understand science at a deep level.
Yeah.
I don't understand math at a deep level, like physics. Like these kinds of things, I don't understand them from like a technical perspective, right? Like that's not the way that I necessarily connect with reality.
Yeah.
Like I connect with it through stuff like this of, okay, if you are encountering this kind of ethereal force and you do X, Y, and Z and you just keep moving, like the path will unfold to you, and then you'll start to see reality for more of what it really is. Because you're saying
by like doing the art and the music and the production side of things, you're saying they like unravels like what you really should be doing.
And it's like a just do it type thing. Like Turning Pro, the War of Art, there's no fancy words, there's no like really crazy concepts or things that are hard to grasp. It's really simple. Like that's kind of how you know he's a pro too. At this point.
Yeah, that's what he talks about. He's like, the pro doesn't have to struggle or show off or do any of this stuff. No. They just do.
Yeah, they just do.
Yeah.
And you can you can read through this or you can listen to this audiobook. It's 2.5 hours on the audiobook.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is not a long book.
Yeah.
And you get a ton of good shit. I just realized this is basically like a commercial for this book. But it's helpful, dude.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Yeah, this is an absolute commercial for Turning Pro. By Stephen Pressfield.
This is Audible.
Stephen Pressfield, you're welcome for the shout out.
Yeah. So let's talk about some other things. So Seagraves just sent me a message that we used to do this thing. I don't know where it came from, but it was like, I got meningitis. I'm really sorry. I can't talk. I got meningitis.
I would love to hear him say that because he has that deep New York accent like you do too.
So I wanted to talk to you boys about Turning Pro today.
How many different accents do you think you'll do throughout the duration of your podcast?
I don't know.
People don't probably know, but you can probably do most impressions. Somebody would give you one, you can do one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Maybe save it for a different podcast, but that's a good one. How many impressions can Chris do?
Hi, I'm Matt.
That would be your best one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we call it?
I think that was a good first podcast, man.
Oh, it was worth a shot.
Yeah, I think it was neat. I think we covered some stuff. Not anywhere of what I think we were supposed to do or going to do, but I think that was a good time.
Yeah. We're a little uptight, but
yeah,
we'll loosen up.
Yeah. Got a long way to go.
All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week. So, all right. So let's go over this too.
Yep.
So if you do like what you see, if you like what you hear, sound quality, all this stuff, go to www.chineproductions.com. So started my own company. That's all part of this too. Why we were talking about the Great Resignation and all that stuff is going out, starting your own business, doing all this kind of stuff, and really it's trying to like incorporate all of this stuff from.
Well, you're just trying to,
Pro.
you're just really trying to explore all different types of media production, stuff like that.
I'm exploring all kinds.
This is just one of those avenues.
This is just
you're an explorer.
This is just one exploration tunnel.
Yeah.
So if you like what you hear, go to Cheine Productions, Cheine, Chris Hine, Cheine, and I think that's it.
Adios.
All right, thanks everyone.
Shine on.